Yeah, welcome in, guys. Detail. I have Pickles with me as always. Say hey, babe.
Hello.
Uh, so, tonight, for the selection, and I will tell you, I got someone to co-host Tuesday with me.
Okay, so what are you going to be watching for Tuesday?
We're gonna be watching the Rugrats.
Okay. Any particular episode, like just like first two, like you were normally doing with that before, or what?
Yeah, probably the first tier three, the, just to get the person used to do it, because
Okay, is it someone who's been in the chat before that I've seen, or is it someone new?
no, it's someone totally new. It's actually one of my friends from TikTok. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be near to down, and we're gonna be doing it through Discord. That way I don't have to walk them through the whole setup, you know.
Okay.
You
Get the
know,
Streamlabs and whatnot set up.
yeah, which, I mean, it's not complicated, but
If it's the first time, though, it can be.
yeah. So my thought was use what we're already using and do it with Discord like we'll do it now. So yeah.
So, is this someone who does TikTok?
Yeah, she does TikTok often. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I ever asked you did that one, but are you on TikTok at all?
Mm,
Like, just as a viewer on.
I've posted some stuff on TikTok. It's not really my area of choice for watching things. I don't really like the formatting.
Okay, well, yeah, my friend goes by the handle Mackie the Mermaid, and she's definitely a great poster. I enjoy hanging out and talking with her, and she was one of the first people I thought about asking. So, yeah, I asked. I we did have to work something out because she, with her being in mountain time, she wasn't quite understanding the time difference, you know?
Mm.
But we do this at 9 o'clock all the time before it's gonna be at 7 with, uh-huh.
Oh, gotcha. So you're gonna just gonna be doing it earlier.
No, no, we'll do it at the same time. It's just I had to get off the mindset of that we're doing it at 9 o'clock whole time
Uh,
because 9 o'clock for whole is 11 o'clock for me and you, and we don't do a 11 o'clock live stream.
yeah.
So yeah, no, just get it home to understand the time difference was the whole part though. But secret is all good.
Oh, looks like you made a mistake here.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, if you had attacked the one on the left with that spell, then that would have brought it down to two, which would have caused the effect of your card to wipe it out.
Yeah. Uh, the, for those who don't know, we just carry it forth, but we're about to really get into the meat and potatoes of what we'll heal. So,
Well, yeah, but part of Friday is also just checking up for how the week's been.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that we're about to, but we're just checking in with each other. So, yeah.
All right. So, would you like to start or should I?
I I will start this week. Now, okay, so I will say this. When you initially gave me the topic, you accidentally left off one important level in your message.
Uh, okay, but yeah, I see that. But you knew what I meant.
Yes, yes, I, I knew what you meant. So,
If you didn't, I would have hoped you would have responded.
no, no, I definitely knew what you meant by it. I mean, there's not many goddamn massive video games, so okay, guys, tonight my theory is if, and this is the title I gave, Captain and the Game Master continued into today. It will evolve into a multicultural gaming saga. If, if Captain and the Game Master had never ended and continued through the present day, the series will have evolved from a quirky 8-bit adventure to a multi-generational, multi-voice spending, multi-voice spending epic that will mirror the evolution of video games themselves from the NES era to the modern console world and beyond. Now, how evolved we will go take a look at that one now.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and
Okay. Just
make,
strategizing.
yeah, make that play for. Okay, I will evolve. Okay,
I will ask this before you even get started.
yeah.
How much of Captain N did you ever really watch?
Uh, for season, I believe there was two, if I'm not wrong.
There
Or,
was one. There was one series. There was a slight title change. No, I don't think it was like a title change, but there were like a little bit of a change when they added like the Game Boy character to it. But it was
uh,
pretty much just one show.
okay, so now I said two seasons.
Yeah.
No, but I said I watched one season and asked if there was two. Was there two or was there only one?
There were two seasons.
Okay, so yeah,
But the second season was like a very
very what?
I'm checking the full episode listing.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
That's
no, 3 seasons.
okay.
3 seasons, a total of 34 episodes. It was one of those things where it was far shorter than people remember it being.
Okay.
Like the
So
first episode was only 13 episodes. The second season was like
10, 9,
yeah, yeah. It was a
around,
short show.
yeah, it was like a Netflix season now. I got you.
All right. So, were you thinking about specific eras, or were you just doing like a time jump to modern era mainly?
Well, I have been set up into three different eras for my fourth point, which is the game rules will keep expanded and remain immortal. In the 90s, new episodes will have added 15-bit and arcade world like Street Fighter, Off-Road Gym, and Donkey Kong Country. Now, in the 2000s, I believe it was, well, in the 2000s, so by the 2000s, Captain and we took up candles from Hero, Kingdom Hearts, and Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Now, I might ask, did you target your sapling on accident?
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay, I was wondering about that one.
Yeah, it was a complete accident. Uh, okay, now. And mom says, sorry, I mean, let me, and Tom. And mom says that he would trouble open walls like Hyrule in Breath of the Wild, Apex Legends, and Fortnite, blending classic platformers and battle royale chaos.
Who would you see? Would Mother Brain still be the villain? Would it be like comedic focus?
Okay, so I had that as my fourth point,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm gonna ask you to hold on a little bit before I
Hold all
review.
questions until the end.
Yeah, yeah,
I gotcha.
uh, no, so, okay, now, point number two, Kevin, Captain, and will A or be replaced? Evil, evil Captain becomes a veteran multicultural training the next captain who has a twist streamer of his sports clothes. So, okay, you know, twist streamer of his sports camp, or he remains as with as the golden video game with so think as can some in Pokemon before Pokemon Horizon. His original NES controller though and Zapper will be upgraded to a universal gamepad, and that adapts to each new era of gaming. Now, I, for my point, and this is a quick one, gaming industry never hero. The software crew slide just at microtransactions, console buggy day one releases, and remaster think as if think of it as Ready Player One means Rick and Morty, but with heart.
I did hear on the
Now, now to your oral question, normal allies and villains. Now, new teammates could create characters like Samus Aran, Master Chief, Kratos, or even Black Team England. Now, updated village might include corrupt AI inspired by GLaDOS, possessed consoles, wearing raves, or a central this like the good, a sentient bug trying to crash all game universes. Now, before I continue, does that answer your initial question of who would be the villain?
Yes, though I will say personally, a lot of the charm of Captain N is the sort of goofy, the goofy fun villains. So I wouldn't think like turning it into a more serious GLaDOS style stuff. You know, GLaDOS can be silly. Um, I would miss Mother Brain for that type of show because this is supposed to be Captain. He's Captain N, the Game Master. He's not just video games in general.
Yeah, no, I got it.
In fact, I don't think that Portal is actually on any Nintendo consoles.
No, but with it, I was more taken into a level of it would be more a show that making fun of current console debates and level what company is superior, like yes, I mean, it's gonna be a heavy focus on Nintendo, but that was necessary that, you know, they can't have some cooperation between Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony to create a more entertaining show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will finish off here with my silver bullet, the built-in puzzle logic. The original series already establishes Kevin.
Well, thank you for that.
Um, Not my best meal, but okay. Okay, no, let's not do that. Okay. The little clues already established cover was poked into video game land for the real world. A perfect setup for a ongoing episodic multiverse. The passage of time and all along will naturally open the door for endless expansion as new consoles and franchises emerge, making Captain in a pinnacle mirror of gaming culture. Now, what it could look like today, and this is my last part, is a streaming series with high quality images, both visual design and an emotional thriller and about what it means to grow up alongside your favorite video games and to fight for them when the digital world is in danger. And that's it. Uh,
Okay, I could see that being fun. I will say when it comes to your thoughts on Captain N, you did more of a general video game focus rather than a Nintendo focus, which I'd say is okay.
yeah,
Um, but no, no, it's good. It's good. It's fun.
alright.
Um, for me, you gave me one which is a what if Jimmy Neutron continued into the modern day? At least that's what I was assuming you were talking about when you said adult Jimmy Neutron.
Well, Okay, I probably should clarify it. What I meant was, okay, you know how they travel to the people in a few episodes if you ever watch the series?
Not
My,
really.
the mind travels more. What would Jimmy Neutron be with the turtles aged up as adults? That was my mindset.
Okay. Well, I basically was theorizing what a sort of like a sequel series future for Jimmy Neutron would be.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so give me a moment for that. So basically, I approached this as a case by case basis for the characters rather than an overall, um, like the show. So,
Uh,
what I would start off with is good old Sheen. So, seeing as Sheen is the character who has the most separation from the rest of the cast,
yeah,
based on him having his own separate program,
yeah.
I believe that a Jimmy Neutron adult. Oh, there he goes. A Jimmy Neutron adult series would have to focus quite a bit on his return to the show.
Okay,
There you go. Okay, so after Planet Sheen, where he finally makes his way back, I believe that it would not be actually him, like Jimmy Neutron, who facilitates his return. Rather, he would, after a series of adventures, growing and maturing, not to a full extent, but at least becoming like a functional adult, would make his way
my
back.
dear teacher.
Would make his way. I didn't see what you did.
I hear
Wait,
you.
oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Use
Yeah.
your hero power on me.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't you heal yourself?
I don't know! um,
Okay, so Sheen would make his way back, and he would be basically the type of hero that he envisioned himself as at the start of his own show.
okay,
And he would be returning. I actually envision him as being sort of like this weird heartthrob style character that is completely at odds with like everything that was going on. Have you ever seen a show called Red Dwarf?
I I've not seen it. I have heard of it.
Okay, so in Red Dwarf, there's a character called Ace Rimmer, who is basically the cool guy alternate universe version of one of the characters in the show, who was Rimmer. And Rimmer is basically a complete and utter a-hole dork. But then there's
Mm,
Ace Rimmer, who is basically everything that he wants to be but isn't.
okay,
I would see Sheen being like the Ace Rimmer to the Jimmy Neutron show, where he's just better than everybody else. A complete contrast to how much of an idiot he was in the original series.
okay, understandable.
Carl. Carl, I see going down a weird, sort of dark path into becoming a bit of a not quite villain. Similar to similar to the forgetful villain that they have on the show, the Doctor. Where is it?
Uh, Dr. Clem.
Yes, Doctor Calamitous, Doctor Finbar
Yeah.
Calamitous. I actually see Carl becoming the new protege Calamitous after being like overwhelmed and overlooked by the rest of the Jimmy Neutron cast.
Okay.
As for Jimmy's parents, they'll just be themselves, except a little bit older and dorkier.
Yeah.
And you will have the adult Carl still, adult Carl constantly going after Jimmy's mother, similar to the main villain from where's the thing? Hold on, Danny Phantom. Yes, the main villain from Danny Phantom.
Okay, so
So I see
you
him going after him the same way Danny Phantom's villain goes after his mother.
okay, so you say call because someone like grandma told
Vlad Masters, yes.
yeah and okay yeah mm,
No, no. All right, there we go. Okay, so for Cindy, all right. First of all, Jimmy doesn't get with anybody. That's just not a thing that happens. In all of this stuff, there's no actual romance that happens, so don't worry about any of that stuff happening.
okay
Cindy does grow up as a rival inventor to Jimmy, where they would have sort of a dueling labs, a friendly competitive streak that would be going on because also for what I'm talking about, they're all early 20s.
okay
Yeah, this is not something that will be anything higher than that.
yeah I got yeah makes sense
Okay, so you have that. Um, for Jimmy himself, I envision something similar to Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory, in which he goes off to school, he becomes a famous scientist, but he returns home and is just this utter, complete, not antisocial, but incapable of properly interacting with society dork.
yeah
Basically, he never fully grows up with like what he is.
okay I got yeah here
Now, since Jimmy has such a more experienced time dealing with villains, I believe that there would be a government sort of organization that would sprout up, similar to something like Whoop, similar to something like those weird organizations in Dexter's Laboratory
yeah
that Jimmy would not be working alongside, but would be contracted out to.
okay
She would probably be someone who is actually working with one of those organizations.
makes sense
All right, so he is someone who would be creating weapons for them. He would go on random missions, but all in all, he would just be this weirdo guy that is still trying to crack the secrets of like his greatest invention.
yeah
Because while Carl is the villain replacement for Calamitous, I really see Jimmy growing up to be just like that, but good.
Okay.
As for Lizzie, I mean Libby. As for Libby, she's Libby and Nick. I never really watched too much of those. For me, they both seemed the sidest of side characters. So they would
Yeah.
sort of just be following that's a big problem with Jimmy Neutron. It was about these four characters, Jimmy, Cindy, Sheen, and Carl, and everyone else just revolved around them.
Yeah.
It,
You're right about that. I can't deny that at all. I mean, they did try to give Jimmy a love interest before Cindy, but that didn't work out. So, yeah, no, I got you.
okay. Before I get any further, are there any questions you have at this moment?
No, there's not.
Okay. So when it comes to his faithful robot dog companion,
Yeah,
Goddard.
yeah,
So
go. Yeah.
Goddard as a character. Where is it? Oh, let me get some of that. Oh, you suck.
Sorry. The, I may not have secrets in all my depths, but when I do, I never have played them.
Okay, so Goddard would still be his faithful companion, though I actually believe that over the years, Goddard would one develop the ability to talk, and would two evolve into a more humanoid form, sort of like a werewolf Goddard, perhaps
uh,
even having his own sort of life that he is living.
okay.
The town itself, by having such a large influx of both super science from Jimmy, Cindy, and Carl,
Yeah.
would be highly advanced, as well as having an influx of aliens, because I believe that that is something which would actually be brought to the city as well.
I mean, that was a focal point of the show. The whole aliens always coming direct from. So yeah, I
Right.
definitely see that I do. So
Mhm.
it
But no, I
makes
believe that they would just flat out live there. Not just not just like come in or try and take over, just like no, they just live here now.
yeah, no, I got it makes perfect. Um, uh,
Ooh. Okay, here we go. Here comes the two, and here's the rest of the 10.
okay, you got me. No,
In fact, I see Robot as well coming back, and through him, there being a sister city to Retroville, being Robotville.
okay.
So you'd have the twin cities of retro and robot, and both of them living in harmony with aliens going back and forth between them.
Makes sense.
Right. So that is basically my general idea for how the world of Jimmy Neutron would be with them if the show had continued to a more adult versions for them.
Okay. Hmm.
Is there anything that you would like to ask about, like stuff that that you think should be in there,
Uh,
like a way you believe that they would age into?
Not exactly. I mean, I would just say this, just to put out there. But I do believe that eventually that they would make peace with the Europeans. I mean, somehow, I'm not fully convinced how that will happen because they did scramble King Juba twice and kill Ultra twice, so I'm not sure how that would really play out, but that's what comes to my mind.
Hmm.
I mean, that makes sense, like,
Yeah, I can see the issue with them making peace. In fact, I was unaware that they were in the show. I thought they were just movie villains.
no, they come back to show they exactly run by acting as and making Jimmy seem like he's crazy because they're like, oh, we were under Poltro's control. We didn't have any control of our actions, but really what they were doing was trying to win favor to bring back Poltron and exact revenge on Retroville as a whole.
Okay. Um, I do have a question.
Good?
Okay, so for this is not particularly about the theories. This is about the shows we're going to be watching.
Good?
Um, so I'm not going to be here Tuesday,
Yeah,
but you are going to be watching a show.
yeah,
Um, do you still want to do, since this will sort of be like getting into like the 3 weeks that we were trying to wait between going into Kodioko?
yeah,
Would you want to just do Kodioko after next week? Because we wouldn't really have time to do like another full small series.
yeah.
Or we just want to do two random episodes or like of a random show like we used to.
Now, honestly, I would rather get into season 3 because that is that in itself is only 15 episodes, so we will be getting that done quickly compared to a typical 26 episode season. So, yeah, I'd say we get into it after next week. And my question is, after season 3, because it will literally only take us 3 weeks to do season 3, what show would you want to get into for
For afterwards?
yeah, yeah.
For I kind of want to watch that Cleopatra show.
Okay, so you wanna watch season 1 of Cleopatra
Yeah,
for that little break in between 3 and 4?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah, we could do that. That would be a good one to revisit. So, yeah, let's do that. Alright. That will allow us to, finish that up after season 4. So, yeah.
yeah. With a nice fresh, nice fresh minds.
And, uh, that would definitely be good. I would be up for that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that show. I just didn't watch it on my own.
Yeah, no, I got you. I knew at some point we would get back to it. I just didn't know when we would. I do believe, and remind me, but that's a 2 season show, correct?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, so yeah, we could definitely get the full season after season 3 of karaoke, and then finish the actual season 4. That way we'll actually completed a full series with a new series along with karaoke. So,
Yep, that sounds like that would be absolutely perfect.
okay, cool. With that being said, I'm getting into sleep. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye, guys.
Later, taters.